In this video, I'll be revealing exactly how I would advise a client to withdraw from a $1.5 million RRSP at age 55, and the strategic approach that minimizes lifetime taxes instead of waiting for RRIF disasters at 71. Through working with Canadian clients who optimize their RRSP withdrawal strategies, I've discovered that the systematic early withdrawal approach prevents the forced distributions and tax bracket spikes that destroy retirement income for passive favor. This is exactly why I'm making this video today, to show you the specific withdrawal sequence I would recommend that turns a large RRSP into an efficient lifetime income rather than a tax time bomb. Let's get right into it. If you had $1.5 million in your RRSP at age 55, you get absolutely nothing, just let it grow, tax deferred, that balance could very realistically be between $3 and $4 million by age 71. And that's where the real problem starts. Once that RRSP is converted to a RRIF, the government tells you how much you must take out each year. On a balance of that size, you're looking at mandatory withdrawals in the range of $150,000 to $200,000 per year. And remember, that is fully taxable income. But it's not your only taxable income. That RRIF income stacks on top of Canada Pension Plan, Old Age Security, which you likely won't qualify for at those income levels, any pensions you have, if you have them, and investment income from non-registered investment accounts. So without planning ahead, you could be pushing yourself into a very high tax bracket for decades, not because you need that income, but because you waited too long to deal with the RRSP. That's how people end up paying tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars more in lifetime taxes than needed. Why do so many Canadians make this mistake? If you've built an RRSP this large, chances are you've worked hard, you've been disciplined, and the RRSP represents a lifetime of effort. So for many people, it becomes mentally untouchable. For others, they don't want to pay tax to take the money out, so they delay withdrawals, and they rely on non-registered investments instead. They default to taking CPP and OAS earlier than they might otherwise, and before they realize it, they've backed themselves into a corner where the RRIF rules are running the show. So how do you avoid that outcome without blowing up your tax bill early? That starts with controlled withdrawals. If I were retiring in my late 50s with $1.5 million in my RRSP, I would not leave it untouched. And I would not try to drain it aggressively either. The goal here is going to be balance. Right away, we would look at a systematic RRSP withdrawal to deliberately use up lower tax bracket. In most cases, that means withdrawing amounts that are taxed around 20 to 30% instead of being forced to take out money later at 40 or 50%. Once you factor in OAS, clawbacks, every dollar in certain income ranges can effectively be taxed even higher. By spreading the withdrawals out over time, we smooth income to reduce future RRIF minimums and avoid large tax spikes later. Why prioritize early withdrawals? Because this gives us known tax rates today, more control over future income, and protection against unknown tax changes down the road. It also keeps decisions connected. If you automatically delay RRSPs or RRSP withdrawals, you often automatically take a CPP earlier to make up that income gap. And that may or may not be the best choice. These decisions should work together, not in isolation. And once you start creating room in the tax plan, that opens up the door for flexibility that most people never have. If you have $1.5 million in your RRSP, you may already have your TFSAs maxed out. But some people still don't. And if that's the case, one of the smartest things to do in early retirement is to withdraw from the RRSP and immediately fund the tax-free savings accounts each year. This converts future growth into permanently tax-free income. Over time, this can build to several hundred thousands of dollars in assets that don't create taxable income, they don't affect OAS, and gives you complete flexibility. And that matters because later in retirement, when you're forced to take with RRIF withdrawals, having a tax-free bucket allows you to cover large one-time expenses, manage tax brackets, and potentially protect government benefits. This isn't about gaming the system. It's about giving yourself options. Now that you understand the tax-free savings account transfer strategy, if you need more help with your retirement plan, click the link below to book a call where I'll analyze your specific situation and show you exactly how to optimize your retirement plan. And now let's talk about one of the most misunderstood tools in the whole process. A lot of people think you have to wait until age 72 to convert your RRSP to a RRIF. You don't. You can move some of your RRSP into your RRIF earlier. Now, why would you do that? First of all, it's convenient. So RRIFs make it easier to set up consistent withdrawals like on a monthly basis once you've planned out your income for the year. Second, they give you control over withholding tax. RRIF minimum withdrawals don't require withholding tax at source. Third, and most importantly, income splitting. So once you turn 65, RRIF income is considered pension income. That allows you to claim the pension tax credit and, more importantly, split that income with your spouse. For many households, one spouse earned much more than the other. So partial RRIF conversions give you tools to manage household tax brackets more effectively. And importantly, you don't have to convert everything at once. By converting only part of the RSP, you avoid unnecessarily high RRIF minimums. So you keep some more flexibility and you can adapt as life changes. At the end of the day, this is about control, not about speed. And when income is controlled properly, it becomes much easier to protect government benefits and reduce taxes. Old age security isn't a huge benefit, but it does matter. Once income moves above roughly $93,000 for 2025, OAS starts getting clawed back. By around $150,000, it's gone entirely. That clawback acts like an extra layer of tax on top of your regular tax rate. Through coordinated planning, we can often control income levels, use your TFSA strategically, time the CPP more effectively, and reduce or avoid unnecessary clawbacks. OAS is guaranteed income that increases with inflation. Preserving it reduces the pressure in your portfolio and improves long-term stability of your retirement income. This is why none of these decisions should be made on their own. So how would I actually implement this strategy? You start with the basics, your goals, your spending. What's your lifestyle going to look like in retirement? Get a full balance sheet. What's the big picture look like? From there, we determine how much to withdraw in your late 50s and early 60s, how to manage tax brackets intentionally, when to fund TFSAs, when partial RRIF conversions make sense, how CPP and OAS fit into the plan. And this is not a one-time decision. Markets change, tax rules change, life changes. Each year, we need to review tax projections, adjust withdrawals, monitor RSP balances and projections, and keep everything aligned. With disciplined execution, this kind of planning can translate into significantly higher after-tax retirement income compared to passive default strategies. So now that you understand exactly how I would advise withdrawing from a $1.5 million RRSP at 55 and why controlled early withdrawals, TFSA transfers, partial RRIF conversions, and OAS clawback protection work together to minimize lifetime taxes, you can implement the strategic withdrawal planning that turns substantial RSPs into efficient retirement income. If you need help with your retirement planning in Canada, click the link below to book a call where I'll analyze your specific situation and show you exactly how to build a comprehensive plan. I'll see you in the next video.